How much? It's apparently going to cost Manchester United £17.5 million to get rid of Ten Hag this week. It's also reported that it is this week it will happen. But what happens if Ten Hag actually gets good, positive results against both Porto and Aston Villa? Are Ineos backing themselves into a corner either way with this here? Which is for the greater good? We've got loads to debate, including the possible Manchester United new managers up on the scene. Who is favourite right now to take over from Ten Hag when the inevitable does happen? We've got all that to discuss in the live show as well. Tonight we are doing something completely different as well. We're having an extended show, which is why we've gone early. So at the end of the show, we are flicking across to Big Up to do a full-on tactical breakdown with match coverage on Big Up, our other platform, our watch-along platform. We're adding to it, so make sure you stay around. Make sure you click the link in the live chat to jump across after the show here on YouTube as well. Double bubble tonight, and for that reason I want you guys to please, first of all, give the video a like, make sure you've subscribed to the channel, and please do make sure that you hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on any of the notification content, free content coming your way on Forever United TV. And while you're at it, you might as well just go over and check out Big Up as well. But we'll send you over there when this video finishes. We have got a load to discuss. I haven't been live once today. I needed time myself to dissect what is actually going on with Manchester United. Hello, everyone, by the way. It's good to see you all again. It does feel weird only having the one live show today. But we wanted to make it a bit of a special one tonight and get into loads of comments and talk about everything that's gone out through the day. As you've seen, I've already got 2 other bits of content out. Behind the scenes at Old Trafford, what it's like being a Manchester United fan at the ground watching this crap right now, because let's be honest, it is exactly that. It's crap, the football at Old Trafford. And people leaving in their hordes last night in that game at Old Trafford with 20 minutes to go. I've covered that today. That was the early morning show. Midday, we talked about Ten Hag and the words coming out from The Athletic about Ten Hag possibly being backed and getting this extra week. We're going to talk through the week and what actually happens now and where do we go from here. But we've also got a lot of reports coming out about Manchester United's possible targets to replace Erik Ten Hag. We're going to get into all of that and get your comments in. So make sure that you're in the live chat commenting. Make sure if you do miss out and you are watching this on catch up, but you get your comments in as well below. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you've all got over the game. Like I said, I needed some time myself to actually get over what we was watching yesterday. It was ridiculous. You've seen all of my reactions. You've seen me outside the ground. I'm sure some of you have seen me on TalkSport as well. That one went a little bit viral, didn't it? Last time I checked, it was over 2 million views. But yeah, you say what you say. You speak from the heart. Let's just say that. And I think a lot of United fans yesterday, and what came from yesterday, was just honest. I've had enough. I'm listening to, just for instance, radio presenters like Andy Goldstein, who used to work for MUTV. He was the biggest everything for Manchester United. You can't sack a manager going type of character. Some people don't like him. Some people don't like the way he does his shows and things like that. But even he has come out tonight and said, I'm done with Ten Hag. I've had enough. Everybody is the same. I've not had one person come to me and say, calm down, Adam. This is wrong. We need to give him time. That game hit a lot of people hard yesterday. A lot of people hard. And the match-going fans spoke yesterday. It was very, very passionate outside Old Trafford. The rain didn't deter anyone. They all just wanted to get out and vent and just have their piece, say their piece, and get it off their chest. There's a lot of emotion flying around this United fan base. I'm sure you've seen on other channels. There are some that are completely full of bull, and we all know who they are. And there are some that are just speaking facts and speaking truths. And that's what we're doing. I will be on the United View later on as well, talking more about it with the guys and girls over there. So there's a lot of Manchester United fans right now in the same position we are. I can already see it in the live chat coming through from you guys now. I can see all of the emotion and just, look, it cannot go on. What's the point in keeping Ten Hag for 2 more games, everybody's saying? That's probably the most common question that I've been asked today on messages. Like, how is he still in a job? What is the point of keeping a manager in hope that something's going to change in the next 2 days, in the next 2 games? Nothing will change. You have to look at Ten Hag now as not give him a chance in the next 2 games. I know he's inevitably going to get it, but the way I see it and the way I would say and explain how I feel about Ten Hag is he's had 2 seasons. You can talk about the cups as much as you want, but the league form just keeps on deteriorating to a point where it's just got beyond embarrassing for United right now. That's where I'm judging Ten Hag. 6 games in, 2 wins. It's carrying it on. It's carrying it on completely. Like if you go through, I think the last 16 games, I think it is, Everton have got more Premier League points than Manchester United. It's embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing. And I've said it so many times as well. There's only one team in the league right now that's scored less goals than Manchester United, and that's Southampton. They've got 2. That tells you everything you need to know. But we're into Ten Hag and the situation. And where we're at right now is that he is obviously going to get the Porto game and the Aston Villa game. God help his press conference when he arrives in Portugal I think he'll be arriving in on Wednesday with his squad. I have no idea how he is going to approach that. The questions are going to be fierce. They're going to be heavy. I don't think there's going to be much on the game against Porto. He's going to get absolutely grilled, like you'd expect him to. He's Manchester United manager, and we are failing dramatically right now. So he is, and he does deserve all of the critique coming his way. He's the man at the top, and he knows what position he's in, because if he is going to be sacked, he's going to earn about 17.5 million, according to reports today. And that's the first place I want to start with the show tonight in terms of what we can discuss amongst us. We've been here before, haven't we? Manchester United are the masters of forking out compensation for managers. We do it every single time. We jump the gun. We give contracts to managers when we shouldn't. And we inevitably, 1 year into them contract extensions or new contracts, whatever you want to call them, they always fall apart within a year. It's happened to every single manager that Manchester United have had. Well, to be honest, David Moyes pretty much failed straight away. I can't see Ten Hag lasting that amount of time into the season. Now, I think Ineos need... And what's happening here is I'm finding a lot of people, the ones that are trying to defend the situation right now and defend Ten Hag, are saying, look, Ineos are in this for the long term. I don't think they're too bothered about this season. Well, they are. I think they can just test the water this season. That's what they're saying. Well, no. Ineos cannot afford to be out of the Champions League, because if we're out of the Champions League this season, then Manchester United lose sponsorship money with Adidas. It'll be the 2nd year out of the Champions League, which is the first time that's happened, I can't remember since when, which is drastic on its own. And the money that's coming in, there isn't much more money in Manchester United's squad to generate funds to buy new players and strengthen. Yeah, you could say, well, we've bought young for that reason and we're going to bring them players through, but still, United needs some experience. We're about to get rid of a lot of experienced players next summer, and for pennies, really. Hardly any money at all coming into the football club. So United need to act now. They need that little bit of a bounce. They need to try and salvage the season, and I think that's why a lot of people are saying, Joe, what is the point in giving him 2 more games? A lot of people are just saying, look, give it Van Nistelrooy for the week, and then you've got this week, and then you've got the next 2 weeks of international duty to appoint a proper manager. I've got a poll running in the chat right now, which is basically, who would you take as a manager, going off the favourites that are being mentioned at the moment? And the ones that are coming out, and you could argue there's probably a couple more names to add to this list, but YouTube only gives you 4 names. The obvious one, who is favourite with the bookies right now, is Ruud van Nistelrooy. And you've got Gareth Southgate. Inzaghi came into the conversation today. There was a report on that today. And the obvious man who is out of work at the moment, Mr Thomas Tuchel. I was speaking with Flex earlier on, actually. And he is all for Thomas Tuchel. We'll see if he sticks to that when we're live on air later on, actually. But yeah, he's gone. He's gone, I'll tell you that now. Like many other people have gone with Ten Hag at the moment. Look, it's not like a told you so sort of scenario. I just want to see better football. And a lot of United fans are just fed up with the same old message coming out from the dugout, and the same message coming out from around the football club. Look, be patient. You can't ignore 2 years. You can't. And we've been through all of this. I don't even want to get into it. You know what was there before. You know what happened last season. So I'm going to get into the chat and see where you guys are actually at with the managers. I'm going to read through some of the stories as well that have been going around, just to update you on everything that's flying around rumour mill right now, because obviously there are plenty of rumours flying around regarding who is going to be coming into Manchester United once, like we said, the inevitable happens, which is Ten Hag being sacked. You're fired from Manchester United. Okay, into the chat we go. It's time to vent, people. Get your frustrations out. You've sat on it. You've had a night. and the dust has settled. Where are you at? Adam says, nothing happened. Subpar performances, so we can then just blame players. I told you all, Hag signings have mostly been no good, so we are effed for many years to come. Mark says, no, it's not over. The nightmare continues from last year, but now it's a horror movie. Palm says, nothing to do with money. If they need to sack him, they will. Look, 17.5 million, just to go on to that now, because the comments have brought that up. It's because he's took that triggered extension, and obviously it means he's got this season and next season officially on his contract. It would be at the end of this season, obviously 3 years, as we know. And he had 1 more year to add to it. So his official contract was 3 years. And United had the option to trigger that extra year, which they have done, which is now after this year, that will be the triggered year. So the season 2024-25 would be his last year officially on his old contract. So officially he has got this season and next season to be paid out for, which totals up to around about, with where he is now in the deal and so far into this season, 17.5 million. That's what it's going to cost Manchester United. No other club has forked out more money than Manchester United for managers in releasing managers and paying compensation. It's absolutely ridiculous, but this is what it takes when you're striving to find success and find the right man to run a football club like this. I'll stick by my guns. I still don't think Manchester United are going to be looking for a manager. I think they're going to be looking for a coach. I think they want a head coach. I do. I think it's not going to be a man that's going to manage. I think it's going to be someone to coach this team, and he's going to be given players by the football structure. I think that's how Ineos want to run it. They want to be in control. And Ten Hag has given them the perfect opportunity. Yes, it's going to cost them money. But it probably would have cost them more money if they gave him a new deal, which is why they triggered that 1 year extension, so they could balance this into their books and say, right, this is where we're at right now. They probably expected it to go a little bit further into the season and not fall off a cliff instantly. I could have told you that last season before the FA Cup final. I was saying the same thing going through the end of May into June, that we should have just changed the manager then, because it wasn't going to change on the pitch. One result in an FA Cup final doesn't change a whole season, and a lot of people forgot about that. But the situation they're in now is, like, how much money is it going to cost us to get rid of him compared to how much money Manchester United will lose if we don't get back into the Champions League? And if Ten Hag stays for the rest of the season, I'm pretty certain now that Manchester United won't make top 4 and they won't win the Europa League. We've proved that already in the first 8 games of the season. You could say 7 if you took the Carabao Cup out of the equation and just put the Premier League and the Europa League games, you brought them into the conversation. They're the only ones that matter. Out of them 7 games, Manchester United, in the 2 competitions that we needed to take seriously because we said we needed him to finish top 4, and then we needed him to win the Europa League. Those were our avenues. Out of the 7 games we've played in them 2 competitions this season so far, we've won 2 games against Fulham and Southampton. Need I say any more? That's why Ten Hag is going to be sacked from Manchester United. The writing is on the wall, and it has been for a long time. The end of last season wasn't convincing anybody. It really wasn't. He's got every single player fit and available to him, barring Luke Shaw, you could argue. And players are really failing him. They just aren't getting the message, and it is just crumbling around him. Back into the chat we go. Actually, let's just get through a few more comments. Yep, sorry, 1 second, guys. Right, okay, into the comments we go. Richie says, Rude is part of the coaching team and results worse than last year. Seriously, don't want him near a manager role. The problem you've got with Ruud van Nistelrooy being Manchester United's manager is that it's another legend that will end up being destroyed because of his wanting to manage Manchester United. It killed Giggsy, not as bad as what it did to Ollie, but Ollie obviously is the prime example. Ollie's gone. Do we really want to lose another legend to the job, to the biggest job in world football, in managing Manchester United? No. I know. I would have Ruud van Nistelrooy as interim. I think he's had 1 season at PSV, and I think he's been brought in basically to cover Manchester United. Rob Dawson from ESPN was talking about it earlier on. Manchester United are in a position to replace the manager straight away, as in Ruud van Nistelrooy will step into the fold when he hack. Obviously, both experience in managing, not the greatest experience in managing, but they can hold the fort while Manchester United make a decision. Personally, I know where I would go. I would just try everything that we've got to get Nagelsmann into the job at Manchester United. I just think he is that type of coach manager that Manchester United is perfect for the club. He ran it perfectly at RB under the Red Bull Group, and that structure and that type of system where they have that player pathway and they have that football structure in place, which they bring the players in for the coach to coach, and that's why he's succeeding as a German manager. He doesn't have to go into the transfer market. Everything's made for him. He's a top coach. It's not a manager as such anymore, and that's what I think we need to take into consideration with all of this. But that would be where I would go. But I hear what Rich is saying. It's going to be difficult for Van Nistelrooy, and it's going to turn a lot of fans again. I don't want to be hating on Van Nistelrooy because he's a poor manager. He won't be a poor manager. He probably needs more time to be a coach and develop himself and the skills that are needed to coach at the top level. Is he ready for United? No, not full time. I don't think he is. I think he's going to be a great coach and he should be great for Ten Hag. But if that doesn't work for Ten Hag, then you can see why he's going again. It all just works against him. He's had everything given to him. There's only one man left at the football club that hasn't changed. One man. And United are appalling. And that's Ten Hag. Christopher says, hit the like button, guys, if you think we are going to have a new record-breaking season. The record-breaking for the wrong reasons. Simon says, yesterday was the final nail in the coffin. Backed him until yesterday. Horror show, says Simon. This is what I mean. Everybody is just turning right now. It don't matter who the next manager is. The issue is utilising players to perform at their best. Rest them when needed. Sub them when needed. It's the simple things that Erik Ten Hag don't do. Keep your comments flying in. I'm coming into these all now. It's pure torture watching United's matches. Lack of vision, no passion. And if you look at Ten Hag, he is only staying with his hands in his pockets. Really afraid of Porto and the result there. Yeah, Barry says Erik Ten Hag never starts strong. His team has no idea about subs. Erik Ten Hag feels that 4-3-2-1 is amazing, but from what the world watch, it's costing us a team. I can feel them all coming in. There is not much defending him at the moment. Ten Hag's next to go. I'm guessing, though, the international break gives them 2 weeks. True. The only manager I truly hope for on behalf of all Manchester United fans, players, owners, is Thomas Frank. So we'll refrain from this particular vote, even if it says of those four. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Thomas Frank, you could have, I think Allegri's been mentioned as well. There are plenty of managers out there that have probably been linked with Manchester United that are not in that poll. Like I said, we can only put 4 in, but they're the ones. Jay's also in the chat as well. The Ineos wave of positivity has crashed on the rocks. Honest Tiger says, you can't have Rashford, Bruno, Shaw, Maguire, etc. having survived sacking 4 managers. They are going to, I'm afraid. It's the same old. I'm Rashford. Honestly, guys, stay tuned. There is a link in the live chat for Big Up, our watch-along platform. We're going to be doing a tactics breakdown and some interesting footage from the game that I want to go through with you guys. I can't obviously do it on YouTube because we don't have the tactics board. So at the end of this show, we're going to fly across to Big Up, and the link is right there. So click on that when we finish and come and join us over there. I've got some damning footage and some interesting tactic looks on what happened yesterday for you all. There's a Liverpool fan in the chat who says, genuine question, do you see you finishing top 10 this season? You would usually be telling you, the United fans would usually be telling you where to go and why you're bantering us. But it is a serious, genuine question when you look at it. If a new manager comes in, United will bounce right back into that top 6 minimum. Hopefully it pushes us to the top 4 because I still well and truly believe in this Manchester United team. I think in this squad we have got players that can take Manchester United into that top 4. And I'm telling you now, it will happen. Someone will figure this out. Someone will get into this team, make it simple enough to understand tactically wise and system wise, and we get the best out of these players. All of these players have won things. All of these players in this squad have won and been to the ends of major tournaments and competitions at the highest level of football. They are good enough. 153 likes in the bag. Let's get that up over 200 while we're live, please, everybody. Keep liking the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. Bell notifications. Dred's just been gifted a membership by the Honest Tiger. Thank you, Dred. Rude to replace Ten Hag. That's the reason why he joined United. Interesting words from Martin Keown earlier on as well today, who was talking about Van Nistelrooy just doesn't seem to be involved anymore. He wants more. It's like he's taking a backward step. It feels like he is getting prepared to take over Ten Hag as Manchester United manager. Interesting take on that one. I thought that's not the only person. And if you watch the midday video that I put out on the situation and where we're at, I bring it up in that as well. What about Ruud van Nistelrooy? Is there a bit of a disconnect there already? Does he know the writings on the wall? Was he brought in for a reason by Ineos? Is he the interim that's going to come in and just cover the ground and cover Manchester United well? The new manager is selected. Or coach. Keep saying coach. Got to say coach. Liam says, I'd like to think Ineos have a shortlist already done in case this happened. I would too as well. Definitely. Flash Talks. I was a huge Ten Hag fan. I thought he was the right guy. Sadly, I was wrong. He needs to go. He does. Adam, who do you think would replace Hag, Ollie or Ruud? Right, that's taking me into the news and what I need to talk about because there's some crazy, crazy stuff going about. So, first of all, just going through the general stuff through the day. Former Manchester United assistant manager and chief scout Mick Brown on Ten Hag. From what I hear, he doesn't have long left the way things are going. That was from Football Insider earlier on today. Manchester United believe they are well prepared to make a change of manager if results and performances do not improve. Promoting Ruud van Nistelrooy, at least in the short term, is considered the viable option if change becomes necessary. I'm just going to read through all of these. There is a growing acceptance at United that Erik Ten Hag is now under severe pressure ahead of crucial games against FC Porto and Aston Villa. Both of them last two from Rob Dawson from ESPN. Manchester United will have to pay £17.5 million. We know that one. Manchester United are currently not considering sacking Erik Ten Hag. There are no conversations about this at the moment. And that's from our man Romano. Honestly, Romano, stick to your transfers, mate. I really don't care what he has to say when it comes to football matters. You're the man in the know for all the transfers. Honestly, do not care what his opinion is about anything football related, apart from players, inside knowledge of players. But when it comes to Manchester United, I'm not bothered what Romano says. If results don't change, Sir Jim Ratcliffe will make a change. Gareth Southgate and Graham Potter are both would be likely candidates for Manchester United if Erik Ten Hag is sacked. Ben Jacobs has gone on one here today. Listen to all of these. Thomas Tuchel is unlikely to be the front runner for Manchester United for the Manchester United job if Erik Ten Hag is sacked, even though the German would welcome a fresh approach. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is expected to be offered a return to Manchester United if Ten Hag is sacked. I'm like, is he serious right now? We joked about this the other day, like it was an ongoing, but Ben Jacobs is actually coming out and saying that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's going to be offered a return to Manchester United if Ten Hag is sacked. Sorry, I said it completely wrong. He's not expected, so I've got it right from the first time. Sorry, Ben Jacobs. I seen that, then I thought, are you joking? I didn't even see this one popping up, but no. Like we said last time, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, thank God. I'm glad I double-checked that then as well. But yeah, Solskjaer is not expected to be offered a return to Manchester United, which is right. You never go back. It's as simple as that. Manchester United, Ben Jacobs says, though, different to what Rob Dawson of ESPN said, Manchester United would look for a more experienced coach than Van Nistelrooy should Erik Ten Hag be sacked. And another name, get ready. Eddie Howe is a name who Manchester United discussed over the summer for a possible Manchester United manager's job. crazy. Laurie Whitwell has actually, I've got the tweet at the bottom there. This has come from MUFC. MPB have said this. In talking on Talk of the Devils, Whitwell has said, on Gareth Southgate becoming Manchester United's manager, every time I've asked the question, I've been steered away from it, as to say, don't go there. No one wants to talk about it because they understand how much it's going to affect a certain portion of the fan base, I would say. Oh, yes. We have got a few more minutes to run on here. And then we're going to be flying across to Big Up on our other platform. So make sure that you do jump across there with us. We're having a full-on tactical breakdown. I'm just going to do a little bit more different content, and we're mixing it completely up at the moment. Let's just see now. Henry Long says, the manager's revolving door, one in, one out, does not matter who you get. Rashford and Cole rule the roost. If they don't like what the manager's doing, they throw him under the bus. Your opinion, Adam, please, says Henry. Look, someone will come in and drop Rashford. Don't get me wrong, Rashford was not the worst player yesterday in certain parts. He put a bit more effort in. I am going in on Rashford a little bit in the Big Up video, which we're going to do after this show finishes. Please give the video a like, guys, as well. We're almost at the 200 mark, so get into the likes. Make sure that you get us over 200. That is much appreciated. Why have I not been informed that should be breaking news? I'm not sure what that's about, actually. Wesley says, Adam, my son is a big fan of yours. He loves United, but getting frustrated with the results and performances of the squad. Like, my son didn't even want to go to the game because he knew what was going to happen, mate. That's where the younger fan generation is right now. They're sick to the back teeth of crap. They don't know anything else. And I think this is where the standards have started to drop, because you've got this new generation of fan that's come in over the last 10 years. And all they know is an underperforming Manchester United. If you didn't see Sir Alex Ferguson play, Alex Ferguson's team play, then you're none the wiser to what Manchester United used to be. And that's the problem. We're getting a fan base now that's developing this taste for standards that just weren't fitting of Manchester United from yesteryear. Like, I'm an older fan and I've seen the glory years. I mean, I've seen the crap that was in the 80s before the glory years. I've seen it all. So really, when you look at it, you've just got to say, look, they have their opinions, and sadly, they're just not getting their value for money. So that is a shame. But yeah, just to round things up on where we're at, there are plenty of managers on Manchester United's list, apparently, and there are plenty of discussions going on right now. We're expecting Ineos to have a short list of managers that are ready to go if Ten Hag is sacked. It is thought that Ten Hag will get the rest of this week, and then over international break, everything is going to kick off. More news will come over the coming days, I am sure, and we'll have you covered on that. We are now going to fly across to Big Up. So please, everybody, just jump across. The link is in the description, and it is in the live chat right now. Click on that and get across to Big Up now. We're going to have the tactical breakdown of the game yesterday. We're going to go through all of that there on Big Up and go through the game itself and where everything went wrong, properly dissect it tactical-wise as well. But that is it, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Come across onto Big Up now. We'll see you there. Link is in the live chat. Thank you, everybody. And I will see you all there on Big Up.